Okay, I completely forgot that there's a brand new update, and it's a really big one that I'm actually looking forward to because the Brawl update, 4v4. Oh, okay. Let's read on about this because this is something I've been waiting for ever since it got teased in the data mines. But first of all, before we get to that, let's get I think Brawl is like the most exciting, so we'll save that for the last. Let's start with new dinosaurs, right? Oh, look, ooh, what do we have here? That's a hybrid of Ceratosaurus, and that's the next step of the hybrid. But it looks like, okay, that's Pachy Gen 2, right? And this is a Titan? Wait, is a Titan? No, a Titan is not in the game. That was something else. Wait, no, it is in the game. That's Lambeosaurus, isn't it? Yeah, it's Lambeosaurus. And that's Pachy Gen 2? Oh, no, it's something completely different. Okay. Not gonna bother with looking at these abilities because I assume that's gonna lead into that something. Oh, it's Rajasaurus. Okay, I was worried that we were getting like an Omega hybrid or something. And then it confuses with something else? Skeledosaurus. Okay, doesn't Skeleto have a hybrid? No, it doesn't. Okay, but yep, I'm right. It is. They are two of the same guys. Is this kind of a return to form? I guess they kind of took. Okay, so it's the Rajasaurus build. And then they've just added the Pachy dome head, and it's really nice coloring. Sorry, it's not Pachy, the pseudo Pachy. And then they added what looks like a pseudo Trichosaurus because they added the osteoderms on it. And for once, it actually looks like they combined all the creatures because the dome head is still there. I think it loses its horn, but you know what? It keeps the main build of the Rajasaurus, so that's a good design. We're in the right direction now. Okay, that's all for new dinosaurs. This is something new. We're introducing healing modifiers with two new mechanics, heal buff and heal debuff. Use heal buff on your dinosaurs or teammates to increase the healing they will receive, and debuff to decrease the amount. With that said, we've also had to tweak some of our existing abilities that have heal and cleanse, specifically cleanse all. Here are all the changes. Abilities with cleanse all will now activate after heal rather than before. This is so the heal debuff can affect the healing capacity of dinosaurs. And it also means that distraction is also very good. Oh, Diloranch is now very susceptible to distraction. Oh wait, hold on. Will not apply to heal percent. Oh, so everything I just said was completely irrelevant because they added... Okay, never mind. Anyway, what else do we got here? We got some ability updates. Adrenaline Pulse, damage buff 10%. Adrenaline Pulse, why are you adding? You changed it. You removed it from the game. Oh, wait, no, you didn't. Postosuchus was the only creature who had it. Cooldown is 2 instead of 3. Very nice. I feel like it could be less, but oh well. Perlith got a little bit of a buff because now when it can only heal itself, but now it doesn't have to wait so long. But I still feel like it's going to die before it gets to activate that heal again. Group Ferocity Strike. Okay, hold on. This affects Gorgosuchus, Caprosuchus, Postometrodon, Postosuchus, and Syntausaurus. Okay, Caprosuchus, my boy, are you actually getting buffed? Increased damage is now 75%. It adds critical chance. Cleanses damage debuffs, and cooldown is 2 instead of 3. My boy Capro got buffed. All he needs now is a good-looking hybrid. Oh, Gorgosuchus is back, baby. Group Ferocity. Dinosaurs impacted. Zungaya. Now it gives you more damage and it increases your critical chance. Okay, not that helpful, but it was okay. Well, no, it's still only for one attack, right? So not that useful. Swap in Ferocity, 15% chance. 3 dinosaurs impacted. Zungaripterus, Majungasaurus. Okay, so these all gain critical chance now. Fearless Flap. All opponents attack 1.25. That's still not too much. All opponents remove dodge, remove damage buff. This is my update, guys. This is my update. My Poukandactylus. One of my favorite creatures in this game, and someone I use regularly, someone I still use regularly, is getting buffed. Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, this is the best. That alone just makes this the best update because they buffed one of my mains. But let's see if they buffed anything else. I assume these are all changed to deal with, like, the Brawl and whatnot, just like what they did when they added raids way back in the day. Dimetrodon Gen 2's changes allow it to adjust its strategy and make critical hits more reliable and damaging. This newfound reliability comes from its new critical chance reduction resistance, which brushes off most of... Okay, let's see. More health, more critical chance, critical damage has been updated. Finally, they're doing that with more creatures than just Nemungia. Abilities, Armor-Piercing Rampage becomes Fierce Critical Impact. Added swap-in Critical Strike. Are those necessary for a common? I feel like the stat changes are enough for a common. And then added Critical Chance Resistance. A pretty significant one, but we'll see how useful that is. Archeoth 2 commons getting buffed. That's new. I don't have to read the description for everyone. I can just look at the changes. Mutual Fury becomes Delayed Mutual Fury. That sounds like a nerf. Okay, maybe I will read this. Part of this effort isn't just to bring up dinosaurs alongside the current power level of dinosaurs in the game, but also to fix how certain stat lines did not fit with the dinosaur's kit. The Archaeotherium is one such example. It loses a bit of health to gain a large amount of base attack alongside a potential heal based on its attack stat. And cleanse if it can terrify the opponent into leaving. Added lesser heal on escape? Attributes, less. It already had a mountain of health, so I guess that's not too big a deal. Gains way more damage and a little bit more armor. Does it gain resistances? No. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a buff. I mean, stat buff, yeah, but its abilities? What the hell? When are you ever going to swap out of Archaeotherium of all creatures? Especially now that you've delayed its Mutual Fury. Oh, Diplocalus. Hey, a dinosaur story love right here. The Diplocalus is friend-shaped. Perhaps we have let this, I have no idea what that word is, guide how we view its abilities. We've expanded the Diplocalus' kit, giving it more ways to reduce damage and helping it become a slippery swapper. It's a bit of a change in direction for the dinosaur creature, but it'll help it find a niche in early arenas. Okay, a little more health, not that helpful though. Wow, they're buffing a lot of commons. I saw Euplocephalus down there. More speed. Distraction becomes Instant Cunning Strike, and added Swap in Distraction. That's useless unless you give it a counterattack. And it now has the ability to just resist swap. Not a bit. I think Dimetrodon has the best buff right now. And now we have Euplocephalus. Euplocephalus was one of the most formidable dinosaurs in the common dinosaur pool. She used to have the highest armor of any critter when the game launched and was used in the tutorial as the face of resilience far and wide. Time has not been good for this dinosaur. To help, we slightly bumped her stats and gave her more tools to combat dodgers adequately. Honestly, yeah, I love the Euplocephalus. It's an adorable looking dinosaur. And honestly, a lot of the Ankylosaurs look adorable in this game. More health, more attack, a lot more attack, honestly. Yeah, like, you nerfed its attack way back when you gave it superior vulnerability. Added some new abilities. Rampage becomes Precise Rampage and added Armor Shift. I'm assuming that's a counterattack or a swap it or something. Because they haven't told us what the new abilities are. And now it gets a damage resistance, so even if you instant distract it, it can still use its Rampage and deal some damage. Or it can just use Predict You and use Superior Vulnerability. Oh, we're finished with the commons, but it's not really too fussed about this guy getting buffed. He's already a bit of a pain in the arena. Pterodactylus might have been pushed ahead of schedule. Those tiny pterodactyls are difficult to keep confined. Wow, the species, well, I guess they're just generalizing for the general public, so whatever. But that does not mean we can't make adjustments when necessary. By changing a strike into an impact, these tricky flyers should do more damage per they buffed it. Oh. Instant Cunning Strike becomes Instant Dodge Impact. I'm not too pleased about that, but it's a small buff, so yeah, whatever. Okay, Postosuchus. This guy has been dying ever since the game started. Let's see if they gave him the love he needed. With a kit overhaul, it can fight flocks more effectively with Group Fear Strike. And its other abilities improved overall. On top of this, all other land crocs who share their updated abilities will also benefit from these changes. They'll be ready to face the significant changes of the arena. Okay, wow, it's so many. I watch, there's gonna be a mountain of legendaries that are reworked as well, right? Oh, this guy got a huge overhaul. Fear Strike becomes Group Fear Strike, very nice. Group Ferocity, we saw the changes already. Adrenaline Pulse, we saw the changes. Added Swap in Shattering Strike. Caprosuchus still has that, right? Right? I don't know. Damage Reduction Resistance. That's solid. Solid buff for Postosuchus. Oh, my boy Capros. Oh, Another creature that I love to use because, as I've mentioned before, Caprosuchus is one of my favorite prehistoric animals, even if it probably doesn't look like this anymore. We could not update the Postosuchus without updating its sister in Jaws, the Caprosuchus. With these updates, its abilities should now match the Caprosuchus's... Excuse me, I need a glass of water. Fierce looks and class. We've cranked up ways to boost its attack while upgrading its ability to keep enemies on the field with the addition of no escape. More health, very nice, love that. Fierce Strike becomes Defensive Shattering Wound. Oh, yeah, that was used on Alberto Spinus. Group Ferocity, we saw the change. Group Cleansing Strike becomes Group Cleansing. Impact, I like that. This guy's becoming like a full-on just a group attacker. I guess they're trying to say that this guy's very good for like the Brawl. Maybe that's what they had in mind. And then added Swap in Ferocity and no Escape. Very nice. And it now gains some swap resistance. I don't know if it had any other resistances. Okay, that's it for rares. Now we get over after Gen 2. Not too fussed about this guy getting buffed. Another dinosaur who needs a little something to be competitive. It embraced some of the most recent additions of the game, as it now has a higher critical damage percentage to go with its critical chance buff, and more importantly, it adopted the new heal debuff to ensure these pesky dinosaurs that can regenerate can't do it as well. So gains health, gains critical chance, gains a lot of critical damage. Darting counter becomes darting blighted counter. I assume that's one of the new ones that has some of the new heal debuffs. Added critical obstruction. That means when you swap out, it'll like deal a critical hit on escape. Swap preventation becomes it has a chance to avoid it. Rajasaurus is one of the oldest dinosaurs in the game, and because of the recent hybridizations, we figured we'd take a look at her. Its absolute lack of resistance could not stand in the common bracket, much less the epics. As such, we gave her offensive abilities without sacrificing the number of shields and defenses, in addition to granting it new heal debuff mechanic. Okay, let's see. Gain some armor, gain some attack, not that much of a stat buff. Taunting shields becomes instant shield impact. So now it can deal damage with that move. Group Shield becomes Taunting Resilient Group Impact. So 2 impact abilities off the bat. Armor Piercing Counter becomes Blighted Piercing Counter. So Blighted does have something to do with heal debuffs. And Critical Obstruction. So you can also, if you swap out of this guy, it's also going to deal some damage to you. And a bunch of resistances. 50% to damage to critical chance and damage. Bleed resistance and vulnerable resistance. Solid. Solid change to Rajasaurus. Very nice. Stegoceratops. Many of you out there look at this dinosaur with fondness, especially if you have been playing from the very beginning, and as we touched upon its hybrid, we knew we had to give this dinosaur a much-needed update for all of you Ceratopsidae lovers out there. Thus, we added stat buff. Okay, I'm just gonna skip forward. Let's just see what it did. Attributes. It gains a little more health, a little more, just small stat tweaks. Resilient Strike becomes Instant Resilient Strike. Greater Stunning Strike becomes Stunning Slowing Vulnerable Impact. That's a mouthful. And Collision. Oh, sorry, no. What was Critical Obstruction? Okay, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. These guys won't deal damage on escape. They will just gain critical chance. Like 100%. Whatever attack they're going to use next, it's going to deal a critical hit. Stegoceratops, on the other hand, is going to punch you in the gut when you try to swap out. Swap preventation resistance, damage reduction resistance, and armor reduction resistance. Very nice, very nice. Oh, Badgetodon was originally designed to be ultimate raid healer, meaning it had to bear the weight and considering the arena. We removed these limitations by replacing some moves. Okay, let's just jump right into the jump. It looks like it had changed a lot with it. Resilient Strike becomes Protect the Herd. I've seen that move a lot recently. Lesser Group Heal becomes just regular Group Heal. So that's like 0.5 healing. Group Instant Invincibility becomes Alert Team Protection. I don't know if that's a move I've seen before or not. Greater Emergency Heal becomes... Oh, hold on, I dropped something. It loses Emergency Heal for Resilient Group Rampage and added Exposing Counter. Not really too sure how I feel about that one. Doesn't feel like it's gonna do too much to change it. Glyptoceras. This guy got a bit of a change before, right? Faced an identity crisis as it wasn't particularly effective at anything and lacked synergy within its moves. To address this, we increased it, so we just made some changes. Let's see. More health, more damage, small stat tweaks. Resilient Impact becomes Group Resilient Impact. Critical Rampage becomes Instant Resilient Impact. Oh, interesting change. Swap Preventation, and then just gains a lot of resistances. I'm still not too fussed about Glyptoceras. I don't think that's going to change it too much. Wrench was already pretty solid, though. Why do you change it? Oh, of course. You gotta give it even more critical damage, and Devious Strike becomes Instant Devious Strike. The Wrench kind's changes are short and sweet. It gains additional... Okay, they just say what... Indoraptor! Oh, this guy. This terrifying dinosaur from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom had a tumult... I have no idea what that means. It often became less popular and eventually disappeared from players' rosters. Thus, we've decided to kick it up a notch with the following changes to make her as terrifying as she was meant to be. Let's see if they actually gave it a proper overhaul this time. Cunning Strike becomes Fierce Strike. Very nice, just like the original. Cleansing Impact becomes Cautious Impact. Oh, removing its cleanse? Are you sure about that? Fierce Rampage becomes Alert Berserk Critical Rampage. Evasive Stance becomes Prolonged Sidestep. Bait becomes Medium Baiting Counter. I have no idea how that's going to overhaul it. We'll have to see on Tuesday when we look at the update fully. And Affliction Resistance. It didn't have that many resistance to begin with, but you know what? I don't care because I saw your crest. Another one of my champions is getting buffed. The Quetzorion's Theropod and Pterosaur ancestors made a dinosaur that was supposed to move fast and eat things. Unfortunately, it did not move fast and became a picky eater. We made a few adjustments to make this dinosaur far less fussy and far more able to dine and dash with the addition of Pounce and Run. It gained some attack power and additional dodge if its adversary left the fight. Okay, let's see. More damage. Yes, I can finally kill a Tyrannometrodon without leaving it on a sliver of HP. Nullifying Rampage becomes Pounce and Run. Unfortunately, I have no idea what that wait, what's going on? Tier 5 enhancement. End of turn if vulnerable becomes start if of turn if shielded. Added alert on escape. Evasion. Are those the only moves? Oh. So it doesn't really change that much. And I have no idea if it got changed or not. Either way, let's see. Stun resistance. 0. Okay, now it can resist stun. Still, I would have preferred if they gave it a lot more, but you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine with this. I have no problem. Trico. The first unique in Joa Tricosaurus is receiving an important update. Again, let's see if they actually did it justice this time. Group Resilient Impact, Defensive Shattering Rampage becomes Fierce Devouring Rampage. That's good. That's very good. Instant Invincibility, Taunt becomes Instant Taunting Bulwark. I think I've seen that before. Well, I know Bulwark. Medium Counterattack becomes Medium Resilient Counterattack. Very nice. That's actually going to be pretty broken. Added Extreme Obstruction. What does that mean? And it gains a ton of resistances. Wow. Oh, Armor Reduction Resistance. Okay, look out for Trico now. And there he is. Poukandactylus, a descendant of the Host Eagle, suffered from its ancestors' shortcomings. The changes to its moveset will trickle down to the Host Eagle line, which shares the same moves. Health and attack additions also bring the Poukandactylus up to today's standard. Let's see if they actually gave it a real buff. Okay, more HP, more attack, very good. Abilities, Fearless Flap, we saw the change for that. Group Instant Distraction becomes Group... Oh, I think that's the last one. Group Instant Distraction becomes Group Instant Distracting Vulnerability. Ooh, added Stuck Landing, which means it can swap in and just dodge 100%. And added Obstruction to Flight, which means if you run away, it's going to gain critical chance. Oh, best update right here. This is the best one. I am not going to change my mind. I'm going to say this is the best update. Not only did they buff Poukandactylus, they also buffed 2 of my champions. I'm happy. I love this update. Okay, now that we've seen all the updates, let's get a look at and see if any of this will affect Brawl. The wait is over as Brawl is coming to Jurassic World Alive. Battle using a team of 4 dinosaurs against another player's team in a new strategic way to play. Oh, yeah, they added it right there in the PV, and it looks like it's like a battle menu as well. Reach player level 7 to unlock this mode, which can be accessed in the drop-down menu as we can see in that image right there. I don't need to read that. Place the dinosaur in a 2x2 formation, with the front creatures taking the brunt of the attacks and the creatures in the back dishing it out. Swapping your creatures between rows during battles is also vital in maximizing your strategy. Dinosaurs with swapping abilities will trigger when swapped to the front, while dinosaurs moving to the back can be targeted by your opponents on escape attacks. Furthermore, group attacks will primarily hit front creatures. However, if a back row dinosaur is taunting, the group attack will be redirected to it instead. We're also introducing exclusive passive bonuses to Brawl. This new perks mechanic will buff certain dinosaur stats and skills and should appear in certain Brawl events. We believe this new system will dynamically alter the competitive landscape and allow new creatures to rise to the top of the food chain. And the Brawl Shop. Winning brawls will also net you Brawl Crests, a new in-game currency. Trade Brawl Crests for exclusive in-game rewards via the Brawl Shop. You can access this new store anytime by scrolling down on the market section. And it looks like you can get quite a fair amount of stuff. Tyrannosaurus Buck, Doe, Allura Titan. I assume it'll like rotate weekly or daily or something, and there'll be some good deals. We know you've been eagerly anticipating this feature for a long time, and we're pleased to finally allow players to head-to-head in 4v4 matches and test their skills. So who's ready to dominate in Brawl? Okay, so, reading this, it looks like I don't think you have to be part of an alliance to do this. It looks like you can just jump in a 4v4, and, hang on, is it like multiple players? Is it like a multiple players thing, or is it like still just single player and you're up against one opponent and you just have to decide how you control the battle? Are you in charge of 4 creatures? That could be kind of hectic if I'm thinking about it. If I look at this again, place in a 2x2 formation with the front creatures taking the front. Yeah, okay. So not that much information, and it looks like it is just still 1v1, like player versus player, not like 4 people in one arena fighting against 4 other people. I guess that could be rather hectic to control. Maybe in the future, but for now, not that much information of Brawl. Most of this was just me getting hyped up over the fact that 2 of my main dinosaurs are getting buffed. I can say dinosaurs, right? Because Poukandactylus is a bird, and birds are dinosaurs, so it counts. Okay, guys. So, that's all for this video. I will see you Tuesday when I eventually cover the dinosaurs in the update, because there was a lot to unpack on this update. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you Tuesday. Goodbye.